Okay, we're recording.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Taylor's Cold Takes. You're probably asking yourself, Taylor, why do you have sunglasses on? It's inside, and it's 11 o'clock at night. The answer is, there actually is no answer. I look really stupid right now on the ring light. I'm taking them off. But, looks cool for a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another week of sports talk. Wow, another crazy week of football, baseball, and now basketball. It's basketball season, ladies and gentlemen, and couldn't be more excited. Just good to see, basketball back. I mean, we get to see LeBron play, Russell Westbrook in a Lakers jersey. Like to see it, but we're not gonna start it off with NBA. We'll start off with that after our MLB talk. Let's go through this kind of quickly. Games, Astros game ended earlier in the day. They beat the Boston Red Sox 9-1. Jordan Alvarez had himself a game, and now they have turned the tides in that series. They now have the lead in the series, and they look to finish it off tomorrow. And Boston, you lost the momentum. You won those 2 straight games at home, and then you just lost it. And I don't think the Astros are looking to give it back to you anytime soon. But that being said, Dodgers are currently losing to the Braves. I believe it's in the 7th or 8th inning. 5-2, I believe, was the score. And yeah, it's Dodgers. You can't. If this team loses to this Braves team, it's gonna be a disappointment of a season for the Dodgers. But what a run for the Braves that they are able to pull this series off. Austin Riley has been the MVP. Actually, no, probably Jock Peterson. He's been an absolute maniac for them so far. But, wow. Dodgers need to pull themselves together. They got the win yesterday with a belly bomb in the 8th inning or 9th inning, whatever it is. But huge clutch home run by Bellinger to switch the tides there in the series to give them some momentum. I thought they would keep it going today, but it's not looking so right now. Maybe they come back and score and change the lead while I'm making the podcast, but as of right now they are losing. They need to win this series. This team is championship built, and if they can't pull it off this year against a severely injured Braves team, I don't know what to tell you. They need to get their stuff straight. Also, in MLB news, nobody wants to be the New York Mets manager. Everybody that gets their name popped up is just immediately getting taken down. Same for the general manager position. I mean, Billy Beane was being thrown up there. Billy Beane's associate was being thrown around too. The guy from Moneyball that was played by, Jonah Hill. He was being thrown up in the conversations. It seems like nobody wants to general manage this team, which I'm probably over exaggerating because it seems like a very opening position. But Mets need to get stuff together. Baez news coming out that the Mets and Baez might already have a deal in place as soon as discussions open up, which is great. I'd love to see Baez back. Heard the rumors of Correa wanting to come to New York. If he does sign with the Mets, I think they do get Baez. If they get Correa, Baez, and Lindor as an infield, I will be in heaven. But we do have a big issue with the outfield right now. We're going to lose Michael Conforto. Pitching is also a huge issue, so I don't know how much money they're going to be willing to just give out to Correa. Pitching needs to be fixed first. That being said, that's really all I got for the MLB talk. Let's talk NBA, baby. Last night, Lakers took their first loss against the Golden State Warriors. Curry had a triple-double. Looked really, really well. LeBron didn't look bad. They just kind of looks like they just need to get the chemistry rolling. Russell Westbrook looked good, too. I'm really excited to see him play. The guy just deserves a championship. He's one of the hardest fighting players. He's always playing hard. And he just has a great personality. One of my favorite players in the league, and I really hope he gets a championship with this Lakers team. And what a better way. Also, Carmelo's on this team, so being a Knicks fan, I would just love to see him succeed. That being said, New York Knicks just went into probably opening game of the year against the Celtics. Double overtime, Knicks pull it off. I don't remember the final score, but they won by like 4 or something like that. It was back and forth. Players were fatigued as crap, but the Knicks were able to pull it off. Julius Randle, I believe, had 35 points. Fournier also looked very, very nice. Derrick Rose got the bucket to kind of seal the game. Awesome. Mitchell Robinson had a bunch of rebounds, which, yes, so good to see him back and healthy. RJ Barrett had an okay game, but Knicks basketball, and we look good. I mean, I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy. So Knicks get their first win against the Celtics, and then Nets, they did not look prepared yesterday against the Bucks. Bucks kind of bullied them around. Nash did not prepare this team well. I don't know if they are going to blame it on the whole Kyrie not being around situation because of the whole vaccination crap, but Nets, even if you do not have Kyrie Irving, you are still a very good team, so pull your crap together. Got James Harden and Kevin Durant on one team. That's crazy enough. You got Kyrie Irving in that mix, you should be unstoppable. So Nets got to get your stuff together. You got to start putting wins against good teams because Bucks bullied you last night. That's really all the NBA talk we have for now. Those are only the main games that I want to talk about. The season literally started yesterday, and the next game was just played. So next week we should have some more NBA talk. But let's just move right ahead. College football. I know we got a lot of Gators fans watching this right now. All I could say is, go Tigers. Jokes aside, wow, what a game. What a game. Max Johnson looks good, but... oh my god. Gators couldn't stop the run. Price ran all over you. They had 3 touchdowns, broke the single game rushing record that was set by Leonard Fournette. Absolutely killed you guys. He ran it up your butt, Gators, and I mean, if it's not obvious already, all Gators hope at any kind of good season is down the drain. LSU beat you without 3 of their best players, did not have Keyshawn Butte, did not have Elias Ricks, and did not have Derek Stingley. Best players that LSU has to offer right there. Ojulari had a great game, was always getting pressure constantly on the quarterback. And yeah, I've been an Emory Jones hater since the beginning of the year. I've been saying it. He's not it. Anthony Richards came in, they showed life, but still wasn't enough. He still struggled. Both threw 2 interceptions separately, 4 interceptions in total for the LSU defense that was already diminished. The fact that that secondary was able to just come together and win really it just makes me proud. You know what I mean? Great coaching. Losing both 2 of your best players on the secondary. Actually, I think we didn't have Ward, or we didn't have another piece of our secondary either, and they looked great. They looked really, really good. Besides on that Hail Mary, which, oh my god, was very frustrating to watch going into the half. That was not nice, but still, secondary looked really, really good against a supposed good passing team in the Florida Gators. But enough on that. LSU, huge upset against the Florida Gators. 3 straight years, baby. We own you, Gators. We own you. Besides that, some more LSU news came out that Coach O will no longer be coaching the LSU Tigers after this season. $17 million buyout on his contract, and I love Coach O so much. His iconic "Go Tigers." It's like it's embedded in history forever. He coached the greatest college football team ever. Let me restate that. That was the greatest college football team ever. You could try and argue with me all you want. Look at the players in the NFL right now and tell me that's not the... You put all those players together, that's not a dream team. Joe Burrow is coming together perfectly. Jamar Chase is the offensive rookie of the year right now. Justin Jefferson would be offensive rookie of the year last year if it wasn't for Justin Herbert. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still figuring stuff out. Terrence Marshall is going to become a top weapon for the Panthers. And I haven't even talked about the defensive guys. This team is for real. For real, for real. And that team was amazing. And he coached them awesomely. And it's sad to see like the downfall of everything. But you know what? It is what it is. We have something to look forward into the offseason. Who's going to coach the LSU Tigers? This team is going to be very good next year. Have a lot of number one recruits coming in. It's going to be a young team, but it should be a very, very good team. Max Johnson should come fully together. And, we're just hoping for another repeat of that season a couple of years ago, which I know probably will never happen again. Again, because it was the greatest college football team ever. But you can only hope to get to that again, or at least be in playoff contention again. And a lot of names being thrown around, like Dabo Sweeney, Lane Kiffin. I don't think those guys are leaving their programs for LSU. They really got something building there, and I think Kiffin wants Arch Manning very badly. I think he wants to coach him. So I don't think Lane Kiffin is leaving Ole Miss. More him later in the section, but Dabo, maybe Clemson runs him out of town, but I don't see that happening. It's gonna be very interesting who see come back here. Joe Brady, I saw getting thrown around a lot. If we get Joe Brady back, run it back, baby. But I don't think we will. One can hope that we get Joe Brady to be the head coach of the LSU Tigers, but I think he's got a good spot there in Carolina. Enough on the LSU talk. Iowa, they were frauds like we all thought they were. They lose to Purdue. It was a bad loss as well. Purdue kind of smacked them around there a bit. Iowa, not good, guys. Not good for Iowa. They fall deep in the rankings. Caleb Williams, he owns at OU now. He is Oklahoma's quarterback. Spencer Rattler actually took OU football out of his bio today on Instagram, quickly added it back after everybody started posting about it. He clearly wants out of there. He's going to transfer. Caleb Williams runs this team now, and he looks extremely well. People are saying that he's Heisman favorite already. Slow your roll, okay? Kids play 2 games. Not Heisman winning. Maybe next year, but not this year. But he looks extremely, extremely well, and if this team gets into the playoffs and he tears it up, good for them. Oklahoma deserves it. Excuse me. Not a good defense, but an offense that will light your butt up. So, always excited to see Oklahoma in the playoffs. Next, Tennessee. What are you doing, guys? Tennessee. I mean, starts throwing trash and golf balls onto the field after losing to Ole Miss. It's unclassy, but like, kind of, you know, I mean, what are you going to do about it? I mean, college football is just crazy. But to see Tennessee act like that, with the whole Lane Kiffin come back, it's funny. Let's go into the preview. Not a ton of big games this week. Not a ton of big games. I only have 2 games I'm going to talk about. Notre Dame versus USC, that's just a classic game. Notre Dame should win that. If they do not, you're out of the top rankings. Such a frustrating team to watch this year. Jay Cone, come on, please. Tyree, please. Like, come on. Get something running. Notre Dame should win that game. Ole Miss versus LSU. I know I just hyped out the Tigers immensely, but Ole Miss should absolutely dust this diminished secondary to pieces, might I add. Doesn't matter how much points this Ole Miss defense lets up. The LSU Tigers secondary is destroyed, and you have the best quarterback in the nation with the best passing attack in the nation going against them. It's not going to end well for the Tigers. It should be a blowout. I won't say blowout. It's going to be a good game, but Ole Miss should win that game as well. Lots and lots of NFL action this week. Jags finally got their first W under Urban Meyer. It was kind of like a crap bowl against Miami. Looked very bad, Miami. That was a bad loss, Miami. But Jags, good win. Good win, Jags. You know what I mean? Lawrence looked good. Passing game looked good. The game-winning kick in England. Just funny how things work. Next, Aaron Rodgers owns the Chicago Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, he owns the Chicago Bears. Said it on live television. Went viral. And that's just amazing. I love it so much. And it's so true. He owns you, Chicago Bears. He owns you. And he lets you hear about it. So awesome. Watch the interview on the Pat McAfee show. Great show, by the way. Just gotta love Aaron Rodgers. Great guy, and the fact that he makes that a meme, a real thing, is hilarious. Next, Giants suck, baby. Let's go. New York Giants suck. Rams absolutely killed us this week. I mean, injuries. Tony was in for 3 plays until he went to the locker room, and then didn't have Thomas. Thomas is on the IR for the next 3 weeks, and Jones had one of those turnover games. 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. No Barkley, no Galladay. Had Tony for 3 plays. Shepard slipped and fell. No Slayton. Not good. Not good at all, Giants. Really got killed this week. Hopefully, they start playing good again. Excuse me. But Carolina is probably going to kill us. But that we'll talk about that more in the NFL preview section. After Giants, Baltimore is for real, ladies and gentlemen. They killed the Chargers. They did. They kicked their butts, and Lamar looks incredible. Saw a great take by Colin Cowherd. Seems like every time we trash on Lamar Jackson a previous season, he comes back that next season and proves us wrong. And this season he's showing that he's a true pocket passer, and he's also incredible at running the football. How do you stop him? How do you stop him? Marquise Brown is finally turning into something good. Mark Andrews is incredible. Besides that, those are really his own 2 weapons. Love how Baltimore is turning this diminished run game into something really good. Both Latavius Murray and Devontae Freeman got touchdowns. Just Baltimore is really well coached. Defense is incredible. I'll talk about more at the end of this section of how I truly feel about them, but Baltimore is for real, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk Trayvon Dix. I mean, he is probably the most talked about NFL player right now. Gets a pick 6, next play, gets burnt for a 75-yard touchdown. What do we make of that? It's really hard to say, but we just really haven't seen what Trayvon Diggs is doing before. And I know there's a whole letting up 1,000 yards and everything like that, but there is a risk and reward with having such aggressive corner. But when he's getting pick 6s and turnovers every single game, I mean, that helps the offense so much. And 2 of the picks he has scored on just by himself. He has 2 pick 6s. He has 2 touchdowns. Same amount as his brother. I really was hating on Diggs, but when you really start thinking about it, the guy's doing incredible things right now. He is not the best cornerback in the league. Let me restate that multiple times. He is not. He is not the best corner in the league. That still belongs to Jalen Ramsey. But he's doing good right now. Is he even top 3 yet? I don't know. Top 5? I would put him in the 5 spot. He's not top 3 yet. Still a very young cornerback. It is his 2nd year in the league. But the interceptions he's killing it. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? The kid is really tearing it up right now, and the risk to the reward thing on the aggression, can't really find that in anyone else, and that's a good quarterback. That is a good quarterback. You want a quarterback that will get you the turnovers. Lining up 75-yard touchdowns, not so much, but I do feel like he will get to a point where he will stop lining that stuff up. So, Trayvon Dix, not overrated. If you're saying he's the best quarterback in the league, yes. But, kid's good. Kid can ball. And he's playing like the best right now. He's not, but he's currently playing like it. Besides that, Dallas had a big win over New England. Just a chaotic game. Again, those just two Trayvon Dix plays alone. But big win for Dallas. That CeeDee Lamb, a walk-off touchdown. Killed me in fantasy, but I was able to pull through. But, yeah, big win for the Dallas Cowboys there. Titans, W, over the Bills. Nobody really saw that coming. Bills, a lot of us thought, me included, were the best team in the AFC. Titans kind of shut that up there. Derrick Henry, we all thought that. We all thought that the Bills would, after last year getting absolutely stomped by Derrick Henry, they would change it up and they would be able to stop him. No. 3 touchdowns, over 180 yards. Dude's killer. And they get the win there. We're stuffed at the 1-yard line on 4th down. And my thoughts on if Sean McDermott should have went for it there, I did think he should have gone for it. I thought that's giving all the trust in your players that you need. It's a good play call. Allen slipped, what are you going to do about it? Not going to end the season for the Bills. Still a very, very, very good team. Excuse me for all the yawns. It's very late at night. But besides that, my first top 5 ranking of the year, through 6 weeks, going into week 7, my top 5 teams. Number 5, give me the Dallas Cowboys. I know I'm a Dallas Cowboys hater, but they have looked really, really well so far, and they are the 5th best team in the National Football League. Number 4, give me the Baltimore Ravens. They are my favorite team to watch right now. They look really, really good, but I gotta put them at 4 right now just because that loss at the beginning of the season. Next, number 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They look really, really good, but the only loss they have is against the Rams, which is the team in front of them. So number 2, I got the Rams. You can all assume who number 1 is. That's the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are still the best team, but not far behind them is the Rams. Had that one bad game, but the Rams still look really, really good. Bucks not far behind as well. But that is my top 5. 5 Cowboys, 4 Baltimore, 3 Bucks, 2 Rams, and number 1 Arizona Cardinals. Let's see how those change. We'll probably do another top 5 going week 14 or week 12, something like that in between. But first top 5 ranking of the year for me. Let's get into the crazy part and my personal favorite part of the week, the NFL preview. This is where things get spinning and I get really excited. First, let me bring up this news broke today. 2 news broke today. First news, Baker is out. Case Keenum is starting for the Browns against the Denver Broncos. I think it's the right move. Don't need Baker getting injured. He is fighting through so much right now. If anybody is saying that Baker Mayfield sucks, no. He's playing through injury right now and he's doing what he can for his team. That being said, right move. Case Keenum, throw it into the fire against one of the best defenses in the league. Let's see how that goes, But the other news that broke today, trade rumors again heating up with the Texans and Deshaun Watson. I do believe he still cannot play in a game this season because he's still under investigation. But been rumors of a 3-team trade: Washington, Miami, and Houston. Somebody's ending up with Watson and somebody's ending up with Tua. Don't know who yet, but that's very interesting and something to look at in further weeks. Next week could be official. We'll be talking about it on the podcast. But just wanted to mention that. Bringing up the Case Keenum stuff, Thursday night football game. Cleveland versus Denver. Who do I got? Do I go with the team with the injured quarterback? Yeah, I am. Cleveland is still my Super Bowl pick, and I still think they are an incredible team with or without Baker Mayfield. They still have incredible weapons. I know they still don't have Landry, but they got Odell Beckham Jr., and who has yet to have his breakout game. And you know what? Why not with the backup quarterback? That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, here we are. Cleveland's defense is incredible. Broncos defense is also very good, but give me the Browns. Give me the Browns. Myles Garrett, I need you this week. Don't let me down. Next game after that, Washington versus Green Bay. This is going to be a good game, actually. I think it's going to be very good. I know Washington's defense has not looked that great this season. That hasn't been the same as last year, but I think they show up a bit this week. Still have Green Bay taking the W in that game. Aaron Rodgers is hot right now, and they got Devontae Adams, who is, at some points, unguardable. Like, I don't care where you are, he is. But Green Bay W over the Washington football team. Next, Kansas City versus the Titans. I got the Titans. Kansas City, I do not have faith in you. Don't have faith in you. I have not seen you be a legitimate contender yet. You beat the Browns, and the Browns have looked shaky so far. I know that they are my Super Bowl pick, but Browns have looked shaky so far. That's the only team that you have remotely beaten that is good. And, yeah, I got the Titans running over you. Derrick Henry mainly. And, still yet to see that Julio Jones touchdown. I forgot to mention the crazy Julio Jones sideline catch, which was awesome during that Bills-Titans game. But thinking Julio has a good week, and Derrick Henry, of course, will with that poor Chiefs running defense. Next, Atlanta versus Miami. I got Atlanta. Like 2 back-to-back upset picks. Miami just does not look good. I love Brian Flores, but they do not look good right now. And my gut says Atlanta. They got the bye week this past week, and I think they can run with it. Sure, Atlanta over Miami. Next, the good old Jets-New England rivalry. Played this game earlier this season, was Mac Jones' first win, and I think he's going to get a second one against this team. I know the Jets had the bye week last week, but I think Zach Wilson's struggles will continue going into this week, and I do have New England beating the New York Jets. I do think it'll be closer, though, this game. I think Zach Wilson's going to flash a bit, but I think the interceptions will still bite him up in the end. Next, Carolina versus my New York Giants. I already mentioned this. We suck, but we're losing. We're losing this week. Carolina's beating us. Carolina's going to beat us, and I think it's going to be in a weird way too. I think Chuba Hubbard is going to do great, but I think Terrence Marshall. This is Terrence Marshall's week, guys. I'm calling my shot. He's going to get his first touchdown. Actually, he's going to get 2. Terrence Marshall is going for 2 touchdowns. Panthers. I don't think they get any turnovers on defense. I think Daniel Jones plays really good. But the defense, our good old New York Giants defense, is going to let up weird touchdowns to Terrence Marshall and Chuba Hubbard. I think Sam Darnold has a bounce-back week. He's been struggling immensely recently. A lot of interceptions being thrown. He needs to get that running game going where he is running the ball. I know they don't have Christian McCaffrey yet, but Chuba will do. Chuba will do. So there you have it. Carolina, you're beating the New York Giants this week. Next, Cincinnati and Baltimore. You have no clue how badly I wanted to choose Cincinnati. You have no clue. I wanted Cincinnati so bad. I wanted to pick them so bad, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get myself to do it. Baltimore just looks too good right now. I know I'm a huge Cincinnati believer. I just couldn't pull the trigger. Couldn't do it. I do think it's going to be a really, really good game, but I couldn't pull the trigger. So do give me Baltimore to win this game. Lamar's MVP right now. Yeah, I heard it. Bladen would agree. What top 5 you smoking on Lamar? Bladen knows. But Baltimore winning over Cincinnati. Next, Las Vegas versus Philadelphia. The interim head coach job. It's undefeated, baby. When you're interim head coach, you're winning your first game. And I think he's going to win his second game here against the sorry Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. Vegas still looks good. They do, with or without Gruden. And I'm giving Las Vegas the dub over Philly. Next, Detroit Rams, the Matthew Stafford return game. You're crazy if you don't think Stafford is throwing for about 15 touchdowns this game. I mean, he is going to go off. And I'm so excited for it because I have him in every single one of my fantasy league. And I love him. Matthew Stafford, big week. Rams, big W. But I also kind of would be surprised if Dan Campbell would just mess around and like, yeah, you know this guy that we traded away? Let me just, slap him around. I just think that would be the most Dan Campbell stuff ever. But I do think that the Rams absolutely slap him around. Next, Houston versus Arizona. Arizona, best team in the league, and I gotta keep it that way. Arizona is going to beat, I won't say beat the crap out of the Houston Texans. Actually, I will. Houston is gonna get the crap beat out of them. It's the J.J. Watt revenge game. That's what this game is, and J.J. is coming for revenge. So give me Arizona over the Houston Texans. Next game, Chicago versus Tampa Bay. I know Tampa lost this game last year. Don't got Nick Foles starting this time. Give me Tampa Bay to beat the Chicago Bears. I need Chicago to suck more. Give us the better draft pick, baby. Okay, Tampa Bay over Chicago. Next, Indianapolis versus the 49ers. Carson Wentz is being extremely underrated this year. He's looking really good, and he's being undermined by these silly losses from the Colts. I think they get a win here finally over the 49ers. Give me Indianapolis with a big win over the 49ers. Jimmy G is up for question right now. If he's starting, he's saying his leg feels good. But with or without Jimmy G, they're probably better without Jimmy G. But I think Indianapolis wins this game no matter what. Next, New Orleans versus Seattle. I'm taking New Orleans. Bye week for New Orleans. Still have Geno Smith at quarterback with Seattle. Geno looked good, but he's not able to finish these games. Back-to-back weeks where he finishes, they just can't get it finished in the final minutes. And I think it's going to continue that way. New Orleans over Seattle. Baby. That's all the NFL games for this week. Hoping for another exciting week. Let me just go over the bye week teams. Buffalo has a bye. Dallas has a bye. Minnesota has a bye. Pittsburgh has a bye. And Los Angeles has a bye. And the Jags have a bye. So after getting a win, the Jags get a bye. That's always good for them. But hoping for another great week of football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Still have yet to talk about hockey on this podcast, mainly because I don't know anything about it. I'm an Islanders fan, and I do believe we are favored to win the Stanley Cup. Sure thing, man. Let's do it. Just bring New York a championship. That's all I want. We're struggling right now in New York. Just bring us a championship. Just give us something. You know what I mean? But that being said, that's all I got for you guys this week. Thank you again for watching the Taylor's Cold Takes podcast, and we'll be back here next week for some more sports talk. Thank you. I'm Taylor Maine. See you guys next week.